pre-order available on February 18th. That's good news. That's your Valentine's Day present.
Yay!
February 18th. Talk to our listeners and viewers about what's happening on February 18th. Your book is now available for pre-order on February 18th. It's got to feel great.
Yay! I'm so happy. I'm sending kisses to all my fans.
And it's this exciting times. February 18th. Then the book will be available very soon after that. But go and get on the pre-orders. And then also to your fans that have read books 1 and 2, you want to hear from them, right?
Yes, yes. I love hearing from my readers. And it helps me to know what they think, what they like, what they want to see, what they want to read. Yes, it would be great. I love it.
So let's jump right from this point to the most important thing when we're talking about what's happening, and that's Valentine's Day. In your time, they celebrated Valentine's Day, right?
Yes, they did. Well, in 270 AD, the emperor decided that their soldiers shouldn't be married. Didn't want them to be married, so he outlawed that. But there was a priest by the name of Valentine, and he wanted to help these people. There was a lot of soldiers that wanted to get married that were in love, and so he married them. Well, the emperor found out about it, and he arrested him. He was in prison, and while he was in prison, he fell in love with the warden's daughter. And so before he was beheaded, which he was beheaded, isn't that awful? He wrote her a love letter, and he signed it, "Your Valentine." And so that carried on. If you were writing something, your Valentine. So then in the medieval time, people recognized or thought that the mating season for birds was around February the 14th. And because pigeons and doves mate for life, they used them as a symbol of fidelity and affection. And they did that on February the 14th to celebrate. Move forward, Valentine's Day became really popular in around 1600s, particularly in England. But during the Regency era, throughout all class, from the aristocracies to the very poor, on Valentine's Day, it was a big deal to make a Valentine and write something, and you could decorate it. Men, if they were smitten with somebody, they could use that day to give them a Valentine to express their affection. So even the poor people, they would take paper and they would poke holes in it, needle holes, to make it look like lace, and would write little things on it. So then they got to where they were given roses. Roses came in from China about that time, and so roses were a big deal. And then it got to the printing became popular. So instead of making the things, they had them printed out. So here we go now with all these fancy, oh, my husband got me the most fancy card. You open it up and it sings and dances, and it's pretty neat. So we've come a long way and I kind of like the idea of somebody hand making a card or giving their words of affection to somebody in writing rather than going to the store and buying the card. Although I have to say the cards I've gotten are pretty expressive, and I do appreciate that very much. it's nice to have something handwritten. It just, you know, don't you think it kind of,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And this is Valentine's Day, is another Valentine. So did it start in Britain or it came, you said longer time. So Britain
Well,
was
it in Europe. It started in Europe, early. Signs of it started, like I said, 20, 270 AD. But as it moved forward, the 1200s, the Norwegians, they were doing things, but it all generated from that Valentine in 270. That's a hypothesis. That's one of many, but I like it, although he does get beheaded, which I don't like. But he was raised up.
yes. And now your fans got to know the story of Valentine's Day. And a great Valentine's Day right now is to pick up book 1 and 2 and pre-order available on
Yeah.
the 18th. You can
And
pre-order on
any men,
Tuesday, the 18th.
any
But
men watching this, they should go and buy the book for their loved ones, because
yes,
they'll really like the book.
absolutely. Thanks again, Mina. Appreciate it.
Thank you, and happy Valentine's Day to everybody.